That actually leads well into my question. I wanted to ask if you could say a little more about prevention, because you had mentioned that, and presumably two people in the same situation, or especially like for somebody who's playing sports, and they're going to be in a situation or have a child in a situation that is playing soccer, or I did taekwondo for 6 years where we practiced kicking each other in the head, what are what are some things that people can do as far as body work or other things so that it kind of reduces their vulnerability? So, because two people who get put in the same situation probably won't experience the same injury based on whatever their mechanics are to start out, or maybe other nutrition, other things. So.
Well, I'm thinking initially, some baseline things like Ayala was saying about nutrition. So those two kids who are both playing soccer or taekwondo or whatever, are they having essential fatty acids? Are they having building blocks to help repair whatever's happening at the time? Hydration is huge. The cerebrospinal fluid that we were looking at, is based, it's water and protein. So are they getting enough hydration, and are they getting protein in their diet? Is there something, whether it's meat or fish or beans or a combination of things, but are they getting enough protein to be able to repair what's happening? And ideally, it's body work. It's being able to make sure that if something is jammed up, that it has the opportunity to be loosened so that you can have a greater margin of error. It basically comes down to who's got the bigger margin of error. When you get body work, when you eat well, when you sleep well, and sleep is huge. That's a whole nother piece that they're doing all kinds of research on now. And they're showing most of the high school students are severely sleep deprived, and they need more sleep than, when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. The kids in elementary school are up at 5:30, 6 o'clock bouncing off the walls anyway. The kid in high school has to drag himself out of bed to try to get to school on time. But it's like we need to have the high school kids home first to look after their little brothers. So the whole thing is flipped as far as what really, from a brain development standpoint, you need. But sleep is huge. So the child or anybody who has more sleep has a bigger margin of error. So anything that you can do to give them more of a reserve would be helpful.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. My son's in college now. When he played high school football, Pennsylvania had made sure all the high school players and the soccer players had these special helmets. Now, they didn't have helmets, but it was like a visor for heading the ball. You don't hear. So there are devices as protection. We were talking about helmets. I'm a big skier, and you think of Natasha, what was her name, who died?
Richardson.
What is her name?
Richardson.
Richardson, yeah. When she died, she fell, hit her head, and didn't do anything, and she was dead within hours. Son lost a friend, hit a tree, died, in 8th grade. It happens. So helmets, they're changing the science and the engineering with helmets. I had